2. Yo, what's up, people? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good in this day, night, evening, whatever time it is that you're watching. Whatever day it may be, Monday, Tuesday. I'm not gonna say all 7 days, but hope you're doing well. Talk about a title. This is my little insight on how, or not even how to, but just to be less attached to people and their opinions, their thoughts, and what they say, also in how they act to you, around you, and behind your back, essentially, when you're not around. Not necessarily secretive stuff, but just when you're not around. And also how to deal with people when they switch up on you. Whether they switch up as in, like, they literally switch up as in they're like a different person, or whether they just grow and they're just a new person. For those two things, one, dealing with the switch up, actually, it really just coincides with being unattached to things and to other people. Being unattached, being detached, and it's not about putting yourself in a position where you're not connected with other people or to yourself or to whom and whatever, but it's about not letting yourself be affected. Not letting yourself be affected by, like I said, what other people say, do, think, and etc. to you and around you and behind your back. It comes from understanding that other people, everyone, how they talk and how they act, how they dress, and etc., how they live, how they think, how they move, is all perspective based. It's all perception. It's all a projection of how the person thinks and feels inside, so they're putting it out into the world. If someone's a hurt, insecure person, you're gonna see that. If someone's more confident, loving, you're gonna see that, you're gonna feel that. And all the other nuances of how a person is and how they could act. Obviously, humans are complex. Day to day, things change, stresses, situations, emotional baggage, emotional capacities may be running low. So there comes, like I said, nuance and an understanding that a person is going to act how they will act. And I think that's the only expectation you should have for a person. Expect a person to act within their capacity, not in a capacity that you hope they will act, or not in a capacity that they say they want to be in, not in a capacity that you are in or someone else is in, or not a capacity of a comparison, but how the person is. And obviously, it depends on how much you actually know the person. But if you're expecting something of somebody, you're failing yourself. The only thing you should expect, or the only person you should expect from, is yourself. That's the only thing you can expect anything from, because that's the only thing you actually have control over. You have no control. You have influence, but you have no control over somebody else, nor any higher being, lower being, higher being God, entities, whatever being. You control how you react. You control how you think. You don't necessarily control your thoughts. Your thoughts are going to come in. Your thoughts are going to create itself, and you can guide the path, and you can control your thoughts, but we all have thoughts that are kind of like, not impulsive, but they come out of like a spark of almost nothing, in the sense that you can think something dork, you can think something that's out of character, like, why did I just think that? But it's like, don't be attached to that either. Don't be attached to your thoughts. Don't be attached to your emotions. Those thoughts, emotions, and feelings are essentially, they are fleeting. They're momentary, as are people. And now when it comes to expecting things from people, or how to deal with people how to deal with a close person, whether it be a family, whether it be a best friend, whatever, that change of dynamic, that change of connection, it's going to be there. The sooner you come to understand that there's never going to be one person in your life that's going to stay forever, whether or not it's a parent, whether or not it's a loved one, whether or not the person is expressing, I'm always going to be there. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying to expect that things will go in a certain direction, whether they go bad or good. Just continue to live your day in the present, and to plan for the future, and to plan plan for good and plan for bad. And so if whatever happens, and there's obviously complexities of situations, but for whatever happens, you'll be less surprised and you'll be less taken aback, because you're not thinking, oh, this person's gonna act like this because I know this person so well. But like, okay, this person can act in any type of way. At any moment, this person could flip a switch and be like, oh, this is a whole different person. But we truly don't know anybody. And we barely know ourselves, because we, as humans, should always be constantly changing and evolving. Now you got the whole idea of you are your best self today, and your past and present self are different versions of yourself. You should always be able to love yourself and not strive to be anything else, because you are perfect in who you are now, and you are perfectly imperfect. Now, that's a valid argument, but personally, shout out to the Jeep Compass. Now, there comes to a point where complacency resides. And I genuinely believe in my heart that, one, you can love yourself and who you are today and still be perfectly imperfect, have your flaws. We are human after all. But also strive to be better than you are today, because who you are today wasn't who you were yesterday, and who you are yesterday wasn't who you are today. And those two beings, those two versions of yourself, aren't who you will be tomorrow. Also, you could be a whole different person than from when you wake up to before you go to sleep. Because once again, things can happen in a person's life to where you may have an out-of-body experience, you may have an out-of-character experience, but who you are is always changing. Who you are is you are malleable, and a person is malleable. So don't put a person in a box. Don't think rigidly that for expectation's sake, for contentment, for happiness, for peace of mind. Only expectations you should have, only expectations you have is for yourself and the things that you can do. Now, that's not to say don't have ambitions, don't have goals, don't have dreams, don't have things of that nature that expectation would kind of be a branch of. It's just about having more freedom and liberation of self, that you can move in any way, and another person can as well. You can move in any way without connections and attachments, without those things being tangled. Because energy is transferable, it's not destroyable, or it's not destroyed, it's just transferable. It moves, it goes, creates something new. So the key thing really, that's getting hot. The key thing really, it comes down to time, understanding. Understanding is the biggest thing. Understanding to a fundamental level. Because true understanding, biggest thing with true understanding and understanding more is experience. I'm a person that's an introvert. I don't go out too much. I'm not really a busybody like how a lot of other people are. A lot of people are more social. You can be an introvert and still be social, but I'm not very social. Like, I'll talk, I'll conversate, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to spark a conversation and stuff. Wait, if you do that, great. You people make the world go around. But I forget my point. But look, pretty much, I feel like I got the gist through it. Everyone's gonna deal with things in their own way. This is a video for another topic for another video. What was I gonna say? Damn, forgot it, dropped it. These are the times where having editing makes a lot more sense, but I don't want to edit. This is just a free run. If I say what I wanted to say, then I said it. If I didn't, I'll say it another time. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Allow yourself to be more free. Allow other people to be free. Don't hold people, beings, anything to any strict standard, unless it's just an A to B, B to C thing. Like if it's a train, okay, yeah, expect a train to show up on time. Expect a train to show up a little bit early, a little bit later. You can expect those type of things. But when it comes to things that have different tracks, like if a train has the possibility to go down a different path, don't always expect it to go down this path. If it has a chance to go down this, don't say 100 times out of 100 it's gonna go down this path. Be like, okay, 95% chance it'll go down this, but it's still 5%. Just that alone will get you further than thinking this is always gonna happen, because that's just not true. This person is always gonna be the same. It's not true. We're always gonna be like this. It's just not true. Time is our most valuable commodity. We can't control it. We can only flow with it. We should not resist it. We should not fight against it. Fighting against, resisting things that, it's not like in our nature, but things that are kind of like essentially bigger than us, bigger than humans, bigger than the 4 dimensions that we live in. Those things come with understanding and come with, I was gonna say time. Time, understanding. It's they like this, but don't expect it to always be like this. That's pretty much it. It's a journey, it's a process. Saying these things is really just for a reminder's sake, because once again, you have to go through your own process and you have to go through your own thinking. You can't hear somebody say something and just implement it in your, well, you can, there's people like that, but you can't just implement in your brain and be like, this is now how I think. You have to experience. You have to go through your own motions of, okay, this is a good idea, this is a good idea, this is a bad one. Okay, how do I now incorporate that within? And how do I remove or minimize the bad that's within you? Now, how you want to be is how you want to be. Once again, don't expect a person to be the image that it is in your head. Expect a person to be how they present themselves. And also remember that how a person presents themselves isn't always, but isn't the entirety of the person. That makes sense. Or if I said that right. How you view another person, your lens, your perspective, just take it with a grain of salt. Now, whether or not you see what it is, well, if you're an observant person, if you're an introspective person, you're thinking, you're gonna have the understanding. You're gonna have the understanding that what you see is a glimpse of the core of a person, because there are people that can be their full the authentic selves. Now, from young to old, it's a process once again. Now, there are people that could be their full authentic self with other people. But at the end of the day, I still truly believe, don't believe everything's 100%, but I still believe to an extent that there are aspects of ourselves that we don't fully portray in public or with other people, as opposed to being by ourselves. You can still be your authentic self with other people. That's not to say otherwise. But that doesn't mean that's your entire self for who you are today. Because once again, we change, we evolve, we grow. It's just a matter of time, experience, and willingness. Because we all have the potential, but not everybody uses the potential. And not everybody uses their gifts. And sometimes, you have to be put on your ass. Sometimes you have to be beat multiple times. Sometimes you have to face loss after loss after loss, struggle after struggle after struggle, in order to see the seed grow. Just the seed grow, just to see the seedling come up. Not even the tree, not even to have shade over yourself and be like, oh, I finally made it. Sometimes you have to go through 1,000 losses just to see that one win. But once that one win happens, that's when you put your fucking foot through the motherfucking pedal and you fucking pass every barrier, every expectation that other people are gonna put on you. Because you go through this life young and impressionable kids are very much influenced from their environment and the things they are told. And the thoughts that they have. It's just opening certain doors, opening certain windows, opening certain roofs, ceilings will not necessarily enlighten us, but technically it will enlighten us, but it will enlighten the path. It will make things a little bit more clear. If we all try to understand that everyone is complex. Everybody's not gonna be their 100% best selves every day. But just because they're acting a different way, just because they're projecting a different way, I guess. Honestly, I don't know what that last point was. I lost that shit. But look, 16 minutes. I kept looking at time. I kept rambling. I want to make this shorter, but every time I say this, it ends up being longer. If what I said is complicated, or not complicated, if what I said is confusing and not clear, please let me know. Because working on being more articulate, working on being more efficient in my words and being more clear and concise. But sometimes the thoughts need to ramble. Sometimes the thoughts just need to get out. So hopefully, also, this is a tidbit. If to the people that are watching, when you have a conversation with people, let them say what they need to say in totality. Don't interrupt if you don't need to. And most times you don't need to interrupt, because it's better to let a person fully get out their thoughts, whether or not it's like nice or whether or not it's to your favor or whether or not it's whatever. If you let a person fully say what they're thinking, how they feel, and you process that, you think about it. You're not thinking about how to respond. You're thinking about, okay, what is this person telling me? Let me process it, and don't rush into a response. You can take your time. I feel like too many people are with that. Too many people are, one, are short-sighted. Two, are rushing for a conversation. Not rushing for a conversation, but rushing just to say something. Also, I feel like a lot of people are comfortable with silence, the deadest space. For whatever reason, people don't want to take more time just to think about what they want to say. Words are powerful. Your thoughts are powerful. Your actions are powerful. You are powerful. Don't minimize yourself. Don't minimize your thoughts. Don't minimize your words. Don't minimize your presence. Don't minimize your actions.